what happened to this beautiful girl, now dead, separating two twin sisters forever. Joining us tonight, Jenny Carreri, still searching for justice for her sister, Jody. Jenny, thank you for being with us. Tell us all about when you learned something horrible had happened.
Thank you. And I just got really emotional for a second. So I was living out west in California, and we had been separated for a little while, and we talked regularly, saw each other regularly, and I was engaged, and my fiance walked into the door and said, I tried to call her that morning. It was my parents' wedding anniversary, and I tried to call her, and she didn't answer the phone, and I just had this weird feeling like something was wrong, but nothing this terrible. And he walked in and said, Jody's dead. And I pretty much just like dropped to the floor and was just in shock. And just, he said she was shot. And it was just all so hard to even just comprehend it. I mean, I'd only seen something like that in a movie. But to hear that was just, I couldn't cope. I just kind of shut down for, you're right. At that point, you just kind of go into the motions, just trying to do what you got to do. I'm trying to just get home to my family.
Jenny Carreri joining us, the twin sister of Jody. Question, Jenny, I'm very curious. You stated that you had a feeling, a gut feeling that something was wrong. Tell me about that.
I had been worried about her because she was having some struggles. We both did as we grew up together, and that was one of the reasons why we had been separated. She always answered the phone, even though we weren't in the same state, we were still just inseparable. And I just had this pit in my stomach that something was wrong.
Jenny, you stated that you guys both had trouble growing up and were separated. What happened?
My sister and I started down that path of struggling with eating disorders, and I was trying to get my life together. And so that's why I didn't come back right away.
What type of eating disorder did you guys develop?
We both had anorexia and bulimia started when we were 13.
Jenny, you have earlier stated that you and your sister, Jody, were sex abused as well. By whom?
Our next door neighbor. We were living on the Naval Academy. My father was an officer there, and we were in fourth grade. We were in elementary school.
To Dr. Joni Johnson joining us, forensic psychologist, performing risk assessments, author of multiple books, including Appearance Obsession, Learning to Love the Way You Look, and Fight Your Fright, a holistic approach to understanding and overcoming anxiety. Dr. Joni Johnson, thank you so much for being with us. Number one, how does being raised by an alcoholic father throughout your formative years, and your family, including you, having to put him in a facility away from the family, combined with childhood sex abuse, turn a beautiful young pair of sisters like Jenny and Jody into patients in a facility to fight eating disorders, life-threatening eating disorders?
Well, we know that trauma just carries from generation to generation. And that's something that I think, not just in terms of the diagnosis. So when we talk about somebody who's raised by an alcoholic parent, it's not necessarily that their sibling or their child is going to become alcoholic. But what that does tell us is that the way that people cope, the way these children learn to cope with things, can be similar.